to you and welcome again to Innovative Dentistry. It's a wonderful Wednesday and we're coming to you live from TBN Studio in Georgetown, Queenstown, and we are here tonight again to bring you one of your favorite programs. Tonight we're going to be talking to you about a fantastic subject that will make you and your smile even better. Again, welcome to this show. We've been running for a few weeks now, and I think that it has been a good few weeks. A lot of people have been learning about different things in dentistry, and we have with us again this evening, as usual, the man of the moment, and as always is Dr. Pico. Dr. Pico, welcome to the show once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
How are you doing today, man?
I am very much happy. What about you?
Oh, I said it's a wonderful Wednesday. I feel good. You know, lots of things happening in the country. There was 2 days ago there was a budget that was passed. I think people are going to have more money now to come and get stuff done for their teeth and so on. But you know, that's a little joke. But indeed, as the country progresses, so too will people's indisposable income, and also they will think the different type of thinking will come into that. You know, if we want to live longer, we want to take care of our health, we want to have a good smile, we want to be 60 looking like 16, we got to take care of ourselves, we got to keep our teeth. So I know that is what this program is all about telling people about how they can best take care of their oral health and have proper oral hygiene. So what are we talking about tonight, man?
So tonight we are talking about dental crowns.
Dental crowns?
Dental crowns, yes.
Dental crowns.
Which
dental
is a
crowns.
very interesting topic. Yes, sir.
Hold on. We've been doing this show for a little while now, you know, for a couple of weeks, what, 6-7 weeks now, and a lot of people have been learning things about what the show is all about. You're learning every day. So let me see if I can preempt and say what I know about dental crowns. Now,
go ahead, sir.
I hope that you're not gonna chastise me and say I'm messing this up. So dental crown is when you have a tooth that is has a cavity that is about 60% damaged. If you do a filling on that, because the enamel is already, you know, more than 60% of it is gone, it's very thin. You put a filling in that, it's a possibility that when you bite it on a you know, we like duck in this country, right?
Mm-hmm.
On some duck curry, and you bite a piece of bone and then it may fracture. If you do a crown may very well be stronger, because when you put that over that already damaged tooth that is 60%, it will actually become as if the enamel of the tooth was 100%. Am I right, or?
Yeah, go ahead. You are going into the right topic, yes.
Okay. Mind you, I'm not going to be taking over your clinic. Yeah, I have no intention of opening my own clinic, but I'm learning too.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And the process is we're going to be covering all these topics, and I come out at the end of the day as the host, not knowing about these things, then, you know, it doesn't do any justice to what we're doing here tonight. Mm-hmm. So, what do you have to add to? Well, not add. What is your take on it? Because I may not necessarily have had the right thing on it, but what is your take on it?
Yeah, you are right. Actually, I am a little bit concerned because I believe that I will need to do something, because you can go and be my
competitor?
Competitor.
No. What you can do? What you can do when you become because I know what you're doing, and I know how well you're doing it, and I foresee that Innovative Dental Clinic, IDC, will become, because everybody's gonna say, where are you gonna get it to when you get it to looked after? IDC. That'll be the household name in this country. So when you become like that, what you can probably do is offer me a little, you know, percentage of or you can take me and you can say, man, you know what, you've learned. So for you not to open your own clinic, you know, I'll pay you, but it's fine. You know, it's all about helping people. It's all about educating people and what can be done.
Yes, you was right in the sense that crowns are made to help to replace teeth that are in a very bad condition. Actually, the dental crowns are a type of treatment that are tooth-shaped cups that are made with different type of materials and the objective is to give back the function to teeth that are very damaged, maybe by cavities, maybe fractures because of a trauma, also due to aesthetic reasons, because sometimes you have a internal stain that you cannot solve by using external bleaching or whitening, teeth whitening, or even internal whitening after a root canal. There are some kind of stains that are difficult to remove, and then you will need to use a crown to cover those stains and give back a natural and nice smile to the patient that is suffering from this type of condition. So there is the topic of these crowns is huge. There are several classifications of, like for example, the type of crowns, the type of design, where the crown is located. There is a lot of classification about these topics. We are not here to teach prosthodontics. We are here to to show to our audience about this type of topic in a general way, for them to get knowledge.
And in a simplified manner.
In a simplified manner, exactly. So basically, what we talking about, the type of materials that the crowns are made. So one of you can make crowns in full metal. Like for example, we are seeing this full veneer crown made in gold, which was one of the materials, the gold, that was used in the past dentistry. Actually, nowadays people is still using gold, but it's not so in use, because of course the color is not matching with the natural appearance of the teeth. Mostly people is still using gold for the posterior molars, okay, and those that are using gold on the anterior is because they want to show this as a fashionable stuff that is not longer in use. Because right now what is more fashionable is to show a white smile, okay. But this gold was a material that was in use years ago, even for frontal teeth. Next, we have here the metal alloy crown, that this type of crowns are also used for posterior teeth, molars in this case, and it's a set of metals in an alloy that are healthy to use, so meaning that it's not unhealthy to use this type of metal crowns. Okay, so the next material, the materials are are ordered in a chronological order about how
they appeared
in market.
Yeah.
So the next type of material is the porcelain fused to metal. The porcelain is a ceramic that is the color, of course, is white in different tones of white, different shade of white. So we can use this material for frontal or anterior teeth and also posterior teeth. The ceramic is a strong material, okay, but actually in comparison with the actual materials, ceramic is not as strong as some other materials that we will see. The ceramic, in this case fused to metal, is mostly used in posterior areas. Can be used also in anterior areas, but there is a little issue with this type of crowns is that the junction between the ceramic and the metal underneath at the frontal teeth can show a dark line near to the gum, which is a very unesthetic condition once this happens, okay. So the ceramic crowns we can use fused to metal. We can use this in posterior teeth and also in anterior teeth, okay. But mostly because of this type of issue with the dark line near to the gum, we tend to use this on posterior.
Okay.
More recently, we have the full ceramic crowns. It's a type of crown that is full made in ceramic. Okay, so it's more aesthetic for anterior teeth because don't have that problem showing that dark line, which is, as I say, the junction between the ceramic and the metal, but it's a little fragile. So we can use this on posterior teeth, but because to increase or decrease the fragility, we will need to prepare the tooth underneath in a way we need to grind down the tooth to create enough space for the ceramic, which is something that is a little bit going against the conservation of the remaining tooth, because if you have to file down too much, then you are taking a lot of tooth structure, which is something that will go against the retention. As the remaining tooth that is holding the crown is too small, then the retention is compromised. So mostly this type of crowns, we use this type of crowns on anterior teeth because of this issue. This issue is solved about the dark line on around the gum, but we avoid to do this type of crowns on posterior because of the condition that we need to file down too much the remaining tooth in order to make this type of crowns stronger. Of course, because the molar area is an area of stress once the people are chewing hard stuff, because the molars are made by nature
To crush.
to crush and chew hard food. Okay. So more recently, we have the Emax crown. The Emax is a material. It's a type of ceramic. The name is lithium disilicate. It's a little fancy name. This type of material is very, very, very aesthetic.
It's very hard also.
It's hard. It's not so hard as the next material that we will show, but it's very aesthetic. Reason why? Because the edge, once you want to reproduce a tooth, this material, the edge, and if you can zoom the picture, let me see if I can zoom the picture. I'll double click here. The edge of the crown is crystal clear. You can, in some patients, the edge of the teeth, the frontal teeth, you can see
it's transparent.
You can see through, because the enamel is transparent in that area. So you can, with this type of Emax material, you can reproduce that. You can reproduce that glossy appearance and crystal clear appearance of the enamel, the edge of the enamel.
The natural appearance.
So this is mostly this type of Emax material. Mostly we use this type of material for anterior teeth. Like you can do it even single crowns or even a bridge for anterior teeth. Okay, and this crown that is showing here was made in our office.
Yeah, well, I'm looking there and I'm seeing the innovative. So whatever you do, your logo is attached to it, so that we know that you're. And this is a good time to remind our viewers that this program is coming to you compliments of Innovative Dental Care, and if Innovative Dental Care is located on the railway embankment in Cummins Lodge. It's just 3 buildings of UG Road. If you're heading in the direction of Industry, at the bottom of the screen right now, the numbers are running there. You can call, as you would have seen the other day when the Guyanese critic had an issue. The first thing he did was to get on the phone, call Dr. Pico, get there as fast as you can, and he went down there to have his issue sorted out. So that is the place that you need to go. But again, we're also advocating that if you are in an area and you need to have your teeth checked out and your area has dental offices or general dental labs, like at your cottage hospitals and health centers, then we advocate that you go there too. This is not all about us and business and innovative dental care, but it's also about us advocating and telling you, the people, of what best you can do to take care of your own oral health. And that's what we're doing. We're coming to you live, as I said, from Daybreak News Studios in Queenstown, Georgetown. And at the end of the show, in the last 15 or 10 to 15 minutes, we will be taking questions, and we want to interact with you and to answer your questions as best as possible. I want to say good night to Daisy Jawahir and Aliyah Mohammed for joining us. Thank you for watching. And wherever you're joining us from, let us know, and we'll be sure to give you a shout out later on. So yes, Dr. Pico. So Emax Krung is this is one of the procedures that you're doing right now.
Yes, as I say, this is the type of material that, because of the beauty of the material and the natural appearance of the material, we use on anterior teeth. I have to say that you can use it also on posterior, but with some limitation, because the material is not so strong. Okay, it's strong, but not so strong to be using in posterior areas.
Okay.
There is a next material, which is the latest type of ceramic. One second. Let me go out of here. Which is the zirconia. The zirconia is the latest type of material that is in the market right now. This type of material is a really hard material. It's so hard that when you use the material can grind down the teeth that are opposite to this type of crowns. So we need to do it in a way that will not be in a too much contact with the lower teeth, because that this material can grind down. It's so hard. It's harder than the enamel. Can grind down the lower natural teeth. Okay. This type of material is made in zirconium. Zirconium is the material that is used in jewelry to make the diamond-like stones. Okay, so it's the same material, but in this case it's an oxide. Can be used to do this type of crown. The zirconia crowns that at the beginning was not so aesthetic, but right now with some modifications, some layers of zirconia are more aesthetic, and we can use the material even in anterior, because at the beginning the different houses that made this material, they recommend to do this, use this material for posterior teeth and not for anterior. Yes.
Yeah, you're right. I remember. You ever see a movie, a James Bond movie named Moonraker, with a man named Jazz inside some, with this, and he's biting wire rope on him thing? You remember that movie? It's a Roger Moore movie. I think there's a wire rope, and this man had these big metal teeth biting, and his name was Jazz, right? So when you tell me this thing could actually grind down your well, I remember Jazz right away with this big metal teeth biting this wire rope and all of that, This he would have done well with this. He would not have needed metal, because those movies were made in the 70s. And obviously this sort of technology was not, I mean, we're looking back at it, but when you look at what they were doing then, it must have been that back in the 70s, the technology available for crowns and so on would have had to be in metal back then, as you said earlier.
In the 70s, the ceramic wasn't at the market.
It was on the market?
Was available at the market, but also the acrylic crowns. So in that period of time, you can combine metal crowns with a layer of acrylic to simulate the appearance of a tooth.
Okay.
So it was like that.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's just that, I just gotta let you know my thoughts, because I as I said, I'm thinking like I'm just a regular person on the outside, and I don't know if anybody else had the same thinking, but I have to let you know what I'm thinking and get your feeling and your reaction towards that. But go ahead.
So as I was saying, this type of zirconium material is available is one of the latest materials to make this type of crowns, and it's available also in the office. Actually, this case that the audience can see was made at our office.
Innovative
Dental Care. So we will see more details later once we start speaking about how we do the crowns. Other type of materials that are available, for example, are the acrylic and some composite. Of course, these type of materials are not so strong, far away not so strong, but we use these materials, acrylic and composite, to build up temporary crowns. And also, people that cannot afford this type of latest materials, you can also offer crowns made in acrylic and in resin composite once the patient get to know how to take care of this type of crown for the long-lasting lifespan of these temporary crowns. Okay?
Okay.
So how to do the crowns, how the process of doing a crown is. So actually, what we do, we need to, if the tooth has enough structure to hold the crown, we will do the filing of the tooth. As the audience can see here, we are filing the tooth, in this case a molar, to create the space to put on the crown. Once in a way, we need to file the tooth in a way that the tooth structure will be cement, and by using a cement, the crown will stay totally fixed over that remaining tooth structure.
I have a question. I'm looking at this. This image up here, and so you're filing around this tooth.
Mm-hmm.
If this tooth had an extensive cavity, you would not have been able to do this, would you?
In that case, if the tooth, the question is very important. In that case, if the tooth has an extensive cavity, we will build up the tooth.
Okay.
If the cavity didn't damage the pulp is the nerve, what people
the nerve,
know as a nerve. If the cavity didn't damage the nerve, we will put a filling over, and then we will file the whole structure. But if the pulp is compromised by the cavity, then we will need to do a root canal, build up the tooth, and then put over the crown. We need to remember in our previous program that a tooth with a root canal is a tooth that is no longer alive.
That's right.
So once the tooth is not alive, the tooth structure becomes dry and very easily to get fracture. It's not so the probability to fracture a tooth with a root canal at the front is not so high as at the back, as the back teeth, because we need to remember that, of course, the molars from the canine till the bicuspid, from the bicuspid till the last molar, we use those teeth to crush our food. And if we, of course, some people have the habit to crush ice or really hard nuts, and if you have a molar with a root canal without a build-up or without a crown over, then you can fracture that tooth, because not right away, but with the years using and abusing on that area, you can fracture the tooth, because the tooth is dead. The tooth is not longer receiving micronutrients from the blood flow. Okay, remember that we remove the pulp in order to do the root canal. So once the tooth is dead, will become very easily to get fractured, very weak. Reason why, once and some other patients say, okay, people say that don't do a root canal, it's much better to take out the tooth, because after a while the tooth get fractured easily, and it's because of this type of situation, because the patient is not being informed about the whole how to take care this type of treatment, or what to do after a root canal. Okay, this is a little out of the topic, but
No, it's important.
In
yes,
this case, it's necessary because mostly a tooth with a root canal will end up receiving a crown later after building back the tooth. Build up means that we need to insert inside of that tooth, mostly if it's a molar, some metal or fiberglass post to increase the retention and to increase the resistance of that remaining to the structure by using the root, the canals, as a retention for a metal or a fiberglass post.
Thank you for answering. It's more than I asked for, but yeah.
So after finishing filing down the tooth with the shape and giving the correct distance between the remaining teeth structure, creating the enough thickness for the future crown, depending on the type of material that we choose, we will go and take an impression. With this impression, we will copy whatever we did, and then we will pour this impression with a plaster to start creating the crown in a dental lab. Something that I have to say that this is an old-fashioned way.
Outdated.
It's outdated because right now, in these days, we are using digital technology, and this type of digital technology is available also at Innovative Dental Care.
Okay.
So once we do the crown preparation, we are no longer taking this type of impression with silicone material. What we do is to scan the mouth of the patient, and I have a little video here showing that how is this process of scanning. So we take this appliance that we see here that is emitting a light, a very intense light, and this light is creating a file that the name is STL. This STL file will transfer this model into a 3D model, and with this 3D model we send this to a lab, and at the lab they will digitally build up the crown and print out later the crown in a 3D printer and put some layers of colors and take that into an oven. It's a process. It's a long process to explain, but it's a very short process to make. Okay?
And this was done at Innovative Dental Lab.
This technology is available in our dental office. Reason why our crowns are very looking like the reality, the real crowns of a patient. So once this is done, then the crown is finished, and we will deliver the crown to the patient, cementing the crown in the mouth. So in here, I will start showing some examples of cases that we did in our office. Like for example, this case that I will show now is an IMAX crown. The IMAX crown has a funny way to be cemented because need a lot of preparation to make the crown adhesive enough to get attached by using the cement, get attached to the remaining tooth structure, or in this case an implant. This case was an implant, the patient that received an implant, and over that implant I deliver an IMAX crown. Okay? So in here we have the model, the racing model, and the crown.
That's this here.
That is the model in which the crown came, and we will just take that crown and cement the crown over the implant. Can also come screw in. The crown is already attached over the abutment, and that abutment will be screwed in the patient. That can be also an option. Okay. So in this case, what we can see here is I am removing I am removing the temporary crown. This is the temporary crown that I was talking earlier. It's a crown made in this case in resin composite. So in here I'm using this appliance to, after breaking the crown, I will remove the pieces from the mouth, and I will get access to the underneath the structure. So in here, as I say, cementing an IMAX crown is a process a little bit tricky, in which we need to create retention on the crown. In this case, I am creating retention over the abutment by sandblasting the abutment. So I am creating retention here, and in this case here, by using a fluoridic acid, I am creating retention inside the IMAX crown. Here, after I am removing the fluoridic acid by using another acid, and here I am using another type of component to make the moisturizing the inside part of the crown, preparing the crown for the use of a bonding, and a special type of bonding. Here I am applying a bonding over the implant, and on the next picture you can see that I am activating that bonding by using a light cure. Same here, activating the bond inside the crown, and here just isolating the teeth that are near to the implant area, and then ending by cementing the IMAX crown over the implant, which is the end of the procedure. And as the audience can see,
it looks
it's looking
it looks exactly like the other one. There is no
other
discoloration. You wouldn't be able to tell that.
You cannot see, like for example, the black line that ceramic crowns are showing. Ceramic fused to metal are showing in this type of cases. And as I say, the IMAX crown is the perfect choice for anterior teeth, because are matching exactly the neighbors. Okay.
And let me just get this clear. This is a case that was done by you.
Exactly.
At your
by using this digital technology
at your dental clinic.
Exactly. That in this case was used the zirconia crown. Here is the case. The patient reached to us having this type of severe cavities, and as a consequence, the teeth, the three anterior teeth, one lateral and the two central incisor, we end up doing a root canal in each of the teeth and building up the teeth, because after a root canal you need to build up the tooth. Here you can see the build up is finished, and we are selecting the shade of the future crowns. And once the build up is finished, we did the scanning of these teeth. And here the audience can see how the scanning process is going. Okay, we start scanning the upper jaw, creating the STL files that I thought about earlier. It's a nice process. I enjoy doing this, because it's looking like
this looks like science fiction.
Exactly. And it's something that is funny, because when I studied prosthodontics, this technology was not available, and I met the technology in a congress in my country, Havana, and at that time was the equipment to do this type of treatment was extremely extremely expensive. So I said to myself, I wish
you'll never be able to do it, yeah?
I wish I can do it one day, and finally I get it to do it once I reach to Guyana.
But that's a good thing because, and as we're looking at this here, you know, it's a nice thing to look at because 20, 30 years ago, when people were talking on a cell phone and pulling up certain things on their phone and looking at talking to people in different countries, it was science fiction then, and here it is now. So, you know, you're part of that process right here because, you know.
Exactly. Yes, I'm very much glad that I reached into this technology because it's so easy. It's making the process so easy, less stressful for the prosthodontics, and also the result, the final result is so nice. It's so nice, and the lifespan of this type of crowns, the IMAX crown and the zirconia crown is really long, and the final result for the patient is also amazing, as the audience can see at the end of this particular case. So I am clearing up this some in this part of the video. I am clearing up some part of the scanning. Then the next session part is to scan the lower jaw to do or create the bite. Okay. So in this part I am scanning the lower jaw. Let me just skip a little, clearing the image here, and do it here, the bite. So by scanning the bite of the patient, look at how funny this is looking. Suddenly this will happen. The upper will just
Close.
mash into the lower, and this is the end of the scanning. Once you have your upper jaw and the lower jaw mashing, the process is finished, and what you have to do is send the STL file to the dental lab, and that will do the crown.
And you send your stuff overseas, yeah?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, amazing technology.
So once this happens, the crowns are back here. This is the crowns back, and this is the final result.
Wow.
So as you can see, these crowns are made in zirconia, are not made in IMAX, are not IMAX crown, but however, they are looking exactly like the surroundings neighbors. Okay, which is, I want for people to compare how was before the patient came having these severe cavities,
Damage, yeah.
cavities on the frontal teeth, which is the frontal teeth are very important for us to smile, communicate, and so on. People with this type of severe cavities, they feel like, you know, with low self-esteem and so.
Yeah, no confidence because you don't want to go out, you want to stay home.
You don't want to talk. Okay, and once the process is finished, look. It's like nothing happened there, and are zirconia crowns. Okay, made digitally.
But you could imagine this. People that didn't had a nice smile, and so when COVID came out and people had to wear masks, you can imagine everybody was like, you know, this is a good thing. But you could say, but why having to mask your smile when there is an opportunity now to fix it, and you can go out there with confidence and smile and be yourself. So you don't have to mask your smile or hide your smile anymore, because the technology is available here in Guyana at Innovative Dental Care, and you're offering the service, and you're qualified, certified, and every other thing that needs to be in place to do this kind of work, yeah?
Exactly, yes.
Fantastic.
And of course, I have to say that for those patients that they cannot afford this type of technology, we can also offer crowns made in resin composite that are looking exactly like the teeth that are nearby, and also crowns made in acrylic. But the thing with this type of crowns are that the crowns are not so hard. The materials are not so hard, so it's easy for people if they don't take care properly the crowns, they can fracture the crowns. Because of course the acrylic and the resin composite are resins, both of them. So the resistance against it, the masticatory forces are not so high in comparison with the ceramic crowns, the zirconia crowns, and the IMAX crown. So what I want to say and repeat again, if the patients, the audience that are seeing this, they are having some issues that they cannot afford at this point in time to get these IMAX or zirconia or even ceramic crowns, you can also solve the problem temporary by using crowns made in resin composite and acrylic. That are also, all these type of treatments are available at the Innovative Dental Care office.
And when they come there, you're going to tell them, well, I'm going to do this for now, this is what it'll be, but in so many months from now, we need to have this done. It's going to cost this amount of money. So you understand that you have a budget now to work. So I say, you know what, I have 3 or 4 months to save my money up, and I go get it done properly and permanently.
Even this type of acrylic and composite crowns can last long, even a year.
Up to 1 year.
Everything is that they have to take care. The patient has to take care. By taking care this type of treatments, they can last long enough time for the patient to save the money that is necessary to the funds that is necessary to get this type of IMAX ceramic or zirconia crowns.
Yeah, I see Daisy Jawahir she's asking a question as to what is the approximate cost for a crown. So because of ethical reasons, we don't really give out prices and so on.
Yes.
But it's, the numbers are there. Daisy, you can WhatsApp if you don't have to call, because I think the Jawahirs are from overseas. You can WhatsApp that number there, and Dr. Pico will respond, and you have a conversation as to what is exactly is needed, and he's going to give you a price. I see we have a few. Savitri Singh watching us, Devika Mohabir, Azim Ali, Arjun Jawahir, and we have Audrey Bahadur from Suriname joining us. I'm glad that we're reaching over in Suriname. Audrey, it's just a boat ride to get here and to get to Dr. Pico. And question, if somebody is from Suriname and they want to do a procedure and they want to come all the way here, they have to come to your clinic, or is there any way you can reach them in Berbice and get something done too?
That would be a little difficult for me since Berbice is far from here.
All right, so they have to. You'll have to come down to Innovative Dental Care. So this is the technology that is coming, and this is the technology that you have here doing this. The procedures. How long do these things take?
So okay, the whole procedure will take one appointment, for example, and sending the crowns, the STL files overseas and get back those crowns here will take between 10-15 days depending on the shipping time. Something that is important to speak is about how to take care of the crowns, because doesn't mean that once you receive the crown that the person can go and misbehave using the crowns, like chewing eyes. There are some persons that they chew eyes or chew bones, or even use the teeth to open bottles, So you have to avoid, even with your natural teeth, you have to avoid chew eyes or chew extremely hard food like bones and stuff like that, because you can break your natural teeth. Imagine then a natural crown, like for example, a crown, like for example this case here that I received also at my office, which is here. We can show here the ceramic crown that I was talking about. the ceramic crown is not so hard. So here you can see a patient that received a crown in ceramic, and after a while the patient fractured that ceramic, and once the ceramic is fractured, it's not possible to repair that fracture. We need to remove and do back the whole crown. So in this case, I propose as a treatment plan to the patient to receive a zirconia crown, which is the next crown that the audience can see on the picture next to the first one. So as you can see, even the previous ceramic crown wasn't matching in color, was more white in comparison with the zirconia crown that was delivered after, which is matching perfectly, as you cannot know which is the fake tooth in this
or
picture.
the real one, yeah.
Okay, so in order for the patients to take care, those crowns doesn't matter the material, doesn't matter even if it's zirconia or a metal crown. The patient needs to understand that they have to do some changes in their chewing habits. You cannot be chewing ice, you cannot be chewing really hard stuff with this type of crowns, especially crowns made in ceramic, or you have to avoid completely to chew this type of hard food with crowns made in resin composite or acrylic crowns, okay? Because those are the most soft type of material.
So for practicality, and let's, for the practical example, we looked, and this is for the audience out there, because I'm sure these are questions that they have, and they're, because these are questions that I would have had for you, and the particular question of time. So let's look at, so the case that you had, where you show this, the incisors, that damage, the cavity, and that you had the root canal, and so on, to putting in, to replacing that, and it looks awesome that you couldn't even tell that something was wrong. Let's look at it from a practical perspective. From the first time that patient would have come to you, first appointment, saying, this is my problem. Well, not the first appointment for you to do the examination, but for you to do the first treatment, to start working on it. So when that patient would have been able to walk out of your clinic with bright smile on their face, give me a practical timeline that can be done
in between 15 to 20 days.
15 to 20 days. Bad teeth, no teeth, broke up teeth in your mouth, and you could walk out in 20 days smiling.
Exactly.
Bright smile.
Exactly.
Wow.
Once you have a tooth that is possible to save, because if it's impossible to save the tooth, that we need to take out the tooth, because the margin of the fracture is under the gum. Okay? In that case, the patient need to do, like for example, an implant or a bridge. A bridge is a set of crowns joined together to replace one single missing tooth, or more than one tooth. Okay, but if the case is that the patient don't want to use a bridge, and the patient want to replace that missing tooth with an implant, then the process is another one, because after placing the implant, once we prove that there is enough bone, that there is no any nearby noble structure that we will damage by you putting on a screw, then the patient has to wait, depending on the type of bone, between 4 to 6 months to put over a crown on that implant. So about implants, we will speak in one of our future programs, okay? Because implants are another field in dentistry that we need to talk about, okay? But the patients, they depending on the treatment plan, a time frame will be provided, because sometimes the patient is coming and the patient needs just a filling to build up the tooth and then put on the crown over after preparing all these type of things, or the patient needs a root canal And if let's go to say that if the root canal is infected, if the tooth is infected with an acute access, we cannot do the root canal right away. We need to wait.
You have to treat that.
We need to do a treatment, okay, first, to make sure that will not be any failure with that root canal. Because if you don't do a root canal in a recently infected tooth in a rush, because that will end up in a failure. Okay, so the time frame will depend on the tooth condition.
All right. We have a question here from Princess Lal. Do you do extractions? Yes, they do. Dr. Pico at his clinic does extractions. You can call the numbers tomorrow morning, or this evening. You can WhatsApp and you can set up an appointment for you fully booked for tomorrow.
Yes.
You're fully booked for tomorrow. Princess is joining us tonight, and being a member of the audience of our viewers tonight, I would advocate that if Princess called you tomorrow, you have to fit her in, because she's here watching us. And I know when you want an extraction, if you have a tooth that is paining, the night seems like a whole year. It doesn't finish fast enough. So please help out Princess. Princess, you can message as soon as we get off the program. Dr. Pico, if Princess does come through on the phone, see how best you can help her out for us. Jamaica Spice, I don't know if it's a name or that's of somebody or somebody's using a name, but they're saying it's nice to know that Guyanese can now access modern day services. And that's exactly my thought as we're sitting here, that we have modern services available in Guyana now that when I'm looking at it, that what you're showing us on the screen with the scanning and all of that is digital, it looks like really like sci-fi to me. And it's available right here in Guyana. Wow. So guys, you have to check out Dr. Pico at Innovative Dental Care. There isn't anything that cannot be done there at this point, because have you started doing braces already?
Yes.
You've started doing braces also, yeah. I cannot get off this program if we're gonna talk about all of these good things that are done and not say that I have encountered some people who've said to me that there are people out there who are saying that they can do all of these services, they can provide all of these things to people, and it's really and truly not what they say they can do. They have, I don't want to there are certain terms I don't want to use in this program, but they really and truly aren't qualified or certified to do this. And I would want to say that if you go to a clinic and they say you want to do these services anywhere, it doesn't matter where, you don't have to come to Innovative Dental Care. You can go anywhere and get yourself sorted out. But ask them to see their certificate of competence, that they are qualified in these areas that they say they can do, because you may very well end up in a situation where somebody carried something like this for you. You damage your teeth, you damage your gum, you damage the bone in your jaw by doing all of these procedures that may be irreparable or possibly cause major harm and even death in sometimes. Because if you get a major, as we mentioned in the first program, if you have certain infections and bacteria get into certain places, it can be fatal. So my advocacy is on ensuring that when you go to places that say they can do certain things and carry out certain procedures, ask them, please, if you're competent, please show me your certificate. No one should be offended. No dentist, no doctor, nobody should be offended if you ask them for certificate of competence, because you are putting yourself on guard. They should be proud to show you that they can do it, because it means that they'll be selling said, because when that person leaves that clinic, they're going to say to others that he can do it because I've seen the certificate. It's there, it's on the wall, and we can get this done. Dr. Pico, we have a few minutes, about 5 minutes more to go. What would you like to add? It was a really good discussion tonight. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, when I'm seeing this kind of technology available here, it gets me excited. I'm proud, that we don't have to travel overseas, or we don't have to listen or watch this on YouTube only. It's available here. And for those people who are living overseas that are watching the program, I want you to know that as a matter of fact, the cost for these procedures here in Guyana will be way, way less than what you will have to pay for it in other countries. And I say that with some level of surety, because since we've been doing this program, a lot of people have been messaging me and calling me from overseas and said, you know how much I paid to do this, how much I paid to do this. It's like, wow. I'm mind blown sometimes when I hear the figures. So if you're living overseas and you want to come in and you're coming to Guyana for a holiday or anything, and you want to schedule anything from a cleaning to a implant, get on to Dr. Pico through the numbers there, and it can be done. So, sir, what would you like to add in closing tonight?
Yes, as you say, it's something important what you say. The objective of this program is to show to our audience inside and outside of Guyana little ways to know what has to be done, how to ask for some certain procedures, okay, and how to face problems related to the healthcare. So in this case, dental healthcare. So in this particular topic, what we discussed here tonight was what are the crowns, in which conditions the crowns are indicated, okay, the type of materials that the crowns are made, and at the end of the show we discuss about how to take care, basically, these type of treatments. So these are the important things that we need to look after, to show to our patients, to our audience, how to ask for a treatment, and how to approach a dentist to let them know their problems and how to face those type of problems.
Yeah, we have. There's a very, very interesting comment I'm seeing here from Bhumati Arjun Singh, and she's not calling anybody's name. If you're gonna ever come through this program to say something about what a procedure that you did or whatever the case may be, we are kindly asking not to mention anybody's name, not to mention any institution's name, because we're not into that. We don't want to pull. We're not here to pull anybody down or pull anything. We're here to build up the dental care in Guyana. Mm-hmm. So Bhumati saying, this is very interesting. I had a root canal in less than a year. I had to remove the tooth. I paid $5,000 TT dollars. I'm thinking $5,000 TT dollars might be a lot of money, because we were 37 thereabouts, Andre, to one. Yeah. So again, people would go to certain places and they will have things done, and if it's not done properly, you end up in a situation where you paid a lot of money for it, and then at the end of it, you got to take out the tooth.
That is why in a point of our conversation I say about once the root canal is finished, the way that the root canal was done, mm-hmm. It was in one session, it was in several sessions depending on the tooth condition. So, or if the patient didn't receive a build-up once the root canal was finished, to help to keep the tooth for a long time waiting for the crown over. So there are many situations that can happen that this patient end up in losing that tooth. But usually the root canal is a treatment that the rate of success is high.
Okay, great. So again, guys, we want to thank you for joining us tonight. It was fantastic having you here with us. We're going to be doing this again next week, Wednesday at 6:30. We're going to follow the Guyanese Critic page. We usually release the flyer and the topic that we'll be covering pretty early in the day, so you can join us for that. We want to say a thank you for joining us. We want to say a thank you to Andre and Sachin, the men behind the scene here right now working with us. They're the ones who bring you these pictures and all these graphics. They've been working tirelessly to get this over to you. So guys, thank you so much for joining us from at Innovative Dentistry here. We're coming to you live from TBN Studios in Queenstown, Georgetown. And to you, wherever you're joining us from, we want to say good night again and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the Wednesday evening. And as I always tell you, look out for those who are not looking out for you. drive safely, and ciao for now.